Hi, my name is Anna. I'm from Germany and I started studying comparative literature last fall. Even though it is different from what I imagined when I applied for comparative literature last February, due to all the teaching being now online, it still has been an amazing and inspiring experience so far. Spread over 2 semesters, comparative literature at Trinity consists of 3 core modules, moving between cultures, theory and methodology, and literature, and in which different disciplines are applied to literature. Additionally, one can choose 2 optional modules from a wide range, one for Michaelmas term and one for Hilary term. I chose Cultures of Memory and Identity for Central Eastern Europe for last semester, which I greatly enjoyed. It allowed me to incorporate my previous education. I studied European studies, but also gave me new insights due to the focus on Eastern Europe and the cultural and history aspects of it. For next semester, I decided to take the Monster Novelist Studies course, which I'm really looking forward to. Between travel literature and moving between cultures, which is in itself really nice, especially at the moment where we can't really travel. So reading stories about travel in different countries, learning about different cultures is really fascinating and helpful, really. And Bildungsromane in theory and methodology, I gained new insights into well-known classics such as Jane Eyre, but also I was also introduced to new and diverse texts. Reading those parallelly and finding points of comparison, points of discussion has been fascinating, but often also surprising, as it showed me that there's an interconnectedness between literatures across time, across national and cultural boundaries. The course size is also amazing. In small groups, discussions are easier and everyone has the opportunity to voice their opinions and their perspectives. Especially the international character of the program has been enriching. It allowed the exchange with students from various backgrounds, with different experiences and at different stages of their life, which was both enriching personally but also academically. And lastly, due to the interactive learning environment, but also due to the readings and the assignments and other little tasks we had to accomplish, independent learning and thinking has been encouraged, which I had to get used to at first, but now greatly appreciate because it allows a certain freedom, allows for creativity, and gives one the opportunity to pursue one's interests. Especially in choosing the dissertation topic, which was challenging at first, but also a delight because I could really follow my interests and do exactly what I want to study and focus on. All in all, I'm really happy that I decided to study comparative literature at Trinity, and I would greatly recommend it.
Hello, every potential postgraduate to Trinity. I am Hong from Comparative Literature, 2019 to 2020. I'm really honored to be invited to share some of my thoughts with you. First of all, I want to congratulate you in advance because you will realize how sensible it is for you to make this decision to apply for Trinity and how lucky you will find yourself when you finally become an M.Phil postgraduate. I was admitted to Trinity on an exchange program, and now I've come back to my school in China. Looking back to my experience there, I still feel grateful and fulfilled. Honestly speaking, literature in Trinity has been a well-established and world-leading discipline. The primary thing that comes to my mind concerning the program of comparative literature is that how comprehensively developed and at the same time how fascinating the whole system is. In terms of the modules, there are multiple choices, including core modules, which means compulsory courses, and option modules, both of which are of extraordinary depth and solidity as well as practical and informative. To take moving between cultures as an example, this core module course, extending for both Michaela's term and Hilary term, covering a variety of topics, and you may find one or many interesting and may want to base your paper on that. In another word, what these sessions provide is not a detailed teaching, but a guided presentation that will inspire you to make a profound and independent research later based on what you have learned during the session. And that is what makes this living process complete and meaningful. In terms of option modules, we are supposed to choose one for each semester to fulfill the program requirements. You will see that there are a variety of options for option modules. From cultural studies, European identity, and translation, you may find your field of interest and take your time. The secondary advantage of studying in Trinity is that the teaching program is mature and advanced, accompanied with a large amount of resources easily accessible. During the whole process of studying here, you will not be left unguided, as there are research seminars as well as workshops available. For example, like those about writing, dissertation writing. Trinity, the program of comparative literature, and all the professors from this program will all be ready to aid you when you come up with some new ideas. The experience of studying in Trinity is like a new world to enter, as long as we are attentive enough and have the patience to dig deeper every time we discover some new concepts or encounter some new theoretical fields. We could open that gate to the new world, seize the key, and employ the resources we are equipped with, and make employment of what we have to the most. Hope the open day could be a perfect starting point for your life in Trinity. And that is all for my sharing. Good luck with the application and best wishes.
Hello from a snowy Washington, D.C. My name is Joanne, and I'm enrolled in the Comp Lit program in the Trinity School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. Having recently retired from a career in international development, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to return to the study of languages and literatures, and Trinity has proven to be the perfect place to do so. The Comp Lit group includes students from around the world who speak a multitude of languages, and the books we read are as diverse, ranging from the classics of Don Quixote and David Copperfield to 20th century authors such as Franz Kafka, Günter Grass, and Primo Levi. Our readings are multinational and multilingual in scope, with the goal of engaging students to move through and make connections between time, space, and culture. While we're still separated by COVID, I'm looking forward to returning to Dublin soon. The Trinity campus is historic and charmingly beautiful, right in the heart of a lively and soulful city of Dublin. Ireland has been the perfect place to study literature.
Hi everyone, my name is Martina Biavati, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the course in comparative literature that you will find at Trinity College in Dublin. So I've been a student and I've just finished this August. So I'm here to tell you about the course, about Trinity, and a little bit about Dublin as well. Of course, the current situation sort of makes it hard to say whether or not in September you will be able to actually travel to Dublin and experience the full extent of both the city and the course, but here's to hoping that that will be possible. So starting from the course, which is what definitely actually will interest you guys the most. The course in itself is extremely thought-provoking and engaging. So you will have a series of modules and a series of lectures that will give you the possibility to examine both the literary theory and the literary works, how they interact with each other and with the world around them. I think the key idea of the course is that no literary work is ever truly estranged from the context in which it was written, nor from the experiences or the beliefs of its author. So what you will find the possibility to sort of compare and contrast different authors, different cultures, different moments in time, how certain themes emerge or disappear, how they change, what happens to them, and all that good stuff. The key characteristic of the course is that I think it will allow you to start pursuing knowledge for yourself. You have to consider it sort of a springboard from which you can decide what to explore and what to study. The course will give you fundamental notions about literary theory and literary works, but you really sort of have to build yourself on them. So you will have the means to start doing something, and then you will have the opportunity to actually go ahead and do it. So the modules will cover almost everything. So from ancient Greek literature to contemporary literature, you will study Homer and the Odyssey, you will study Dickens, you will study Vonnegut, maybe. You will definitely have the opportunity to sort of dip your toes in many different time periods, many different authors as well. And you will have the opportunity to decide for yourself what you want to do and what you don't want to do and what you want to focus on as well. So the course the course and the materials are there for you to use, but also you will be immersed in the academic world at Trinity, which is extremely welcoming and extremely kind to its students as well. So the professors will be available. If you have any questions, if you need to talk to someone or chat about your project as well, you will find that they are really, really approachable as well. So you're not on your own in this. You definitely are not. Of course, this expands beyond the course, as Trinity has a host of societies and a host of possibilities for you to be involved in the life of the university. Again, I have to say, with the pandemic, I don't know how that's going to work. But if you're new to Ireland, if you're new to Trinity, I would definitely recommend, if it's safe and if it's possible, that you try to enjoy some societies, because it really is easier if you have friends when you go through this module. And yeah, I guess that's about it. I am Dublin. That's the one thing that's missing is Dublin. Dublin is a wonderful city. You'll have many opportunities to explore it, and the people are kind and welcoming. And after a brief adjustment period, you will find that it's fairly easy to navigate as well. So yeah, if it's safe to travel, if it's safe to be in person in Ireland, I would definitely recommend the course, not only for the course, but also because Dublin is great and everyone should definitely see it at least once in their lifetime. So that's it. That's me. I'm done. And that's what the course is like. So I hope you found this helpful, and goodbye.
Hi, my name is Nick Johnson. I was a 2019-2020 PG student at Trinity in the M.Phil for Comparative Literature. And for me, the Complit program was an exploration. I went into it wondering what postgraduate studies would be like, wondering if I wanted to go the academic route in my future. And also, for me, as someone from America living in Dublin, far from home, what would the experience of comparative literature and graduate studies be like? And, for me, to start off, what a wonderful city to be studying literature. You're surrounded in an intimate but intellectual atmosphere in that city, in the town, and I really enjoyed learning about literature there and comparative literature as a field. The program itself was designed to answer these questions. It was intensive, it was demanding, and the themes throughout the year were crossing boundaries, traversing disciplines, being interdisciplinary. It was a one-year program, so it was very intensive. The time was short, and you had to be keeping up with everything, reading 4 books a week or so. And within the 5 modules that you had 3 that were year-long modules, preparing each PG student to do research, going into detail about comparative literature scope, experiencing the cross-cultural methodology of comp lit, and then you also had 2 elective modules, half year, 1 term each, that encouraged you to pursue your own personal interests. I took a course on translation in literature, and I took another course on Eastern European literature in postmodern era. Throughout these 5 modules, I felt I was equipped with the tools, but then given the capacity to pursue my own inquiries in the literature. The comp lit program at Trinity gives you that overall traditional instruction, but it did go beyond the Western European canon into the Middle East, into Eastern Europe, other areas as well. You're given free reins to pursue your own interests in the module term papers. So your experience is also shaped by your peers, by the people who are bringing their own interests, their own expertise to your course as well. It allowed me to hone my own academic voice and even refine some of these term papers that I was really invested in into writings that I've been sending to journals, and journals have been taking under consideration. So it's definitely a program that helps you find that voice and prepare you for comparative literature as a field of study, as a possible avenue for you in your career, and also to just enjoy learning about literature throughout the world.
Hello everyone, my name is Shanna Rowland and I completed the M.Phil in Comparative Literature at Trinity College Dublin in 2019-2020. So I am here today to speak a little bit about my experience within the program and studying at Trinity as a whole. So I suppose a good place to start would be the core modules. So there are many benefits to the core modules from my experience, not only least because of the wealth of theory and literature covered within the core modules. So this gives you the opportunity not only to revisit some theorists and literature that you have previously studied at undergraduate levels, such as Foucault, Nietzsche, the literary heavyweights such as Charlotte Bronte and Charles Dickens, but also to be exposed to some new theorists that you may not have previously had the opportunity to study. So a few that stand out to me are Agamben and Bakhtin, 2 theorists that I had never heard of before starting that program. And then with regards to literature, The Tin Drum by Gunter Grass stands out to me. I had not heard of Gunter Grass prior to studying at the Comparative Literature program in Trinity. And The Tin Drum ended up being one of the wildest and most enjoyable reads of the program as a whole. So yes, it not only supports your prior learning, but it also opens up different avenues of learning through the different theory and literature studied throughout the course. Another benefit of the core modules that really stands out to me from my time at Trinity will be the rotating professors. So you're not consistently taught in general by a single professor throughout the core modules. Rather, you would maybe have 2 classes with 1 professor on a particular topic, typically their subject of expertise, and then the next 2 weeks you will be taught by another professor on their subject of expertise. So not only are you being taught by professors who are subject matter experts in this particular topic and thus receiving a very in-depth education in this particular topic, but it also helps you to identify professors that align with your research interests. And this will ultimately help you when you have to begin writing the dissertation, researching for the dissertation, and sourcing a professor that will review and edit your dissertation towards the end of the program. So those are the core modules and the key benefits of them. Another major win of the program that I would suggest is the class number. So it is quite small, the program, and the school as a whole is quite small. So this is highly beneficial, not only because it provides you with a steady social group within Trinity, which can be a bit tricky if you're not from Dublin to find your social footing. So it's already essentially built in there for you, because you might only have a class size of maybe 15 to 20 people. But not only that, again, when it comes to writing the dissertation, you have several classmates who perhaps have read different theorists to you, have read different literature, and can point you in the right direction, maybe in terms of your research, maybe the gaps in your research that you're struggling to fill, maybe a text that you had not thought of to read. Well, your colleagues and your classmates are there to help you in this sense, which is definitely a strong benefit in comparison to maybe a lot of the larger courses at Trinity College Dublin, where maybe you're in a class with 100 to 200 people and you do not have the opportunity, so to say, to get to know your fellow classmates as intimately as the comparative literature program allows you to. So yes, a great support system, which is an added benefit, especially if you're moving possibly to a new country or to a new city to complete the program. So very quickly then, to speak a little bit about the optional modules present within the program. The optional modules are definitely some of the most enjoyable modules for me when completing the comparative literature program. It gave me the opportunity to study fields that I had not had the chance to investigate in undergraduate levels. So one that stands out for me is I took a class in European cinema. And I'd never taken a cinema or film class before completing this. And it was simply fascinating. It opened up new avenues for research that I had not previously considered. And again, being taught by individuals who are considered experts in their field on different subject areas, different geographical areas, different film types, really opened up my research in ways that I had not previously anticipated. So I would encourage you, if you see an optional module, you're not quite sure if you have the foundation to maybe dip into it or investigate that genre, that media type, then I encourage you to give it a go because the benefits can be ample and bountiful. So yes, to finish up, I will say that my time at Trinity completing the comparative literature program was definitely a year to remember, not least due to the fact that the latter half of the second semester was entirely online due to the arrival of the global pandemic in Ireland in March. I will say that I do believe that the professors did everything within their power to ensure a steady stream of learning despite the interruption caused by the pandemic. I have made some friends for life at Trinity that I am grateful for the program giving me the opportunity to meet these people and to form these relationships. I will say that the program opened up these baby ideas that I possibly had at undergraduate level to larger topics that I definitely intend to pursue and research further in academia at a later date. But yes, you really can't beat the location for Trinity. You really can't beat the small class sizes that the comparative literature program offers you. And yes, if you have the opportunity to study at Trinity College within this program, then I encourage you to do so.
Hi, my name is Xiaoming Yu. I come from China. I did my bachelor degree of English Studies and Art History in Germany. Trinity College Dublin. I'm so glad that I'm a postgraduate student in comparative literature. comparative literature can broaden my perspective. All courses were online in the first semester due to the pandemic. So we used the Blackboard and Zoom. I think e-learning is a nice, convenient, and safe way we could use it more for home studying. The professors uploaded the reading materials online. Everything online is in order. In the online class, my classmates and I explore the connections of literature with English, philosophy, film studies, languages, and psychology, and also from political science, history, sociology, women and gender studies, and more. Comparative literature is interdisciplinary. It is moved between cultures and renews traveling concepts, migrating concepts, and so on. We are not only comparing the different texts, but also thinking why we do it and think what the world system of literature will be going in the future. And these are from the series and approaches in class. Comparative literature prepares me to work in any field where critical thinking, strong writing skills, and foreign language competence, and a sophisticated understanding of cultural difference and diversity are called for.